Greetings and welcome back to the Galley of the Sun. I've got to tell you, I'm really stoked about this one. So we're going to have a bunch of friends over tomorrow and I need an appetizer for them. And I am going to blow their freaking socks off. Today, we're going to do preps, so tomorrow we can have crispy, fireball cherry, chipotle, pork belly, burnt ends. God, I love my adjectives. All right, so got a few things we need to get done today. First of all, I have here about a 10-pound skin-on pork belly. Very important if you want the crispy part. So we're going to turn this over meat side up, and then I'm going to cut through the meat, but not the top fat layer and not the skin, and make the form for my pork belly burnt ends. In the end, we're going to have little cubes of meat. So I'm going to cut strips this way and this way to make all of this squares the size I want for those burnt ends, but leaving that top side intact. So let's get that done, utilizing my badass Dow Strong 10.25-inch chef's knife. There's a link in the bottom if you want one. Now, do you need a 10-pound pork belly for this recipe? Absolutely not, but I got a lot of friends coming over. It's one slab. It's easy to deal with. If you need a smaller one because of the size of your smoker, or sadly your lack of friends, then go ahead and do it. Recipe's all the same. And by the way, dear friends, all of the ingredients, their amounts and the directions are down below in the description section. And if they aren't, there's a link that takes you to our webpage, galleyofthesun.com. It's there. All right. All right, what we just accomplished is the hardest part of the entire operation. You should have something that looks like this. Now we turn it skin side up. What we need to do with this side is poke approximately 10,614 holes into the skin. Now, you can use a toothpick and it'll take you all day. Or you can get one of these 48 needle meat tenderizers and make this an easy day. There's a link for this thing down below too. If you love crispy pork belly, you need one of these things. All right, so I'm gonna simply harpoon this thing a bunch of times and get those holes in there to promote that crispy skin. Don't be afraid to get violent with it. I'm gonna get those holes poked and then we'll be back for the next step. We'll see you then. The holes are poked. It got easier as I got the hang of it. Now the last step with the pork belly for today. We are going to cover that skin to promote again crispiness and help dry it out with some coarse sea salt. Don't be afraid about putting too much in there. What needs to soak in will soak into the meat. The rest of it we'll brush off tomorrow before we go into the next steps we have then. So let's get this covered. And then this pork belly is going to go either in your fridge or, if you don't have room, into a cooler with ice overnight. Let it set for about 24 hours and give that skin as much chance to dry out as possible. Do not even think about putting a binder in here because part of the thought process here is we want to draw out the moisture. So putting a binder on there would just be silly. Silly, I say, silly.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm gonna go chuck this in the cooler. We'll be right back and we'll work on the sauce so it has time for the next 24 hours for those flavors to mingle. We'll see you then. Our pork belly is getting ready, so the last thing we need to do today is get our sauce together and let those flavors mingle for the next 24 hours. Arguably the star of the show is right here. What I have is a large jar of maraschino cherries. About a week ago, we drained the cherry juice out of there and replaced it with Fireball whiskey.
Hell yes.
Hells yeah. So I'm gonna put about a cup of these into the blender. Oh, and I see I gotta pull the stems out of every freaking one of them. That's okay. It's a service I'm happy to do for the flavor we're gonna get. Give them a quick test. It's gonna be so good. I would have enlisted the help of the director pulling these stems, but had I done that, we wouldn't have had any freaking cherries left.
No.
She's got a weak spot for them. Along with those Fireball cherries, I'm gonna add about 3 tablespoons of diced chipotles and adobo. Then our last constituent is some kind of cherry-based barbecue sauce. This cheer wine barbecue sauce is absolutely fantastic. Cheerwine is a brand of cherry soda. Yeah, this Kakalaki brand, sweet Cheerwine sauce, amazing. About a half a jar. All right, we'll get that blended up. Give that a quick taste. Oh, these are gonna be freaking epic. Got a little bite to it. Incredible flavor. Tomorrow we'll see ya when it's time to do the next steps with the pork belly. I can't freaking wait. See you then. It is the day of the cook. The pork belly has been sitting in the cooler for 24 hours. Looking at the top of it, all that salt's been absorbed. Fantastic. So, last step before we get this thing on the smoker. Right now, my Yoder YS640S pellet grill is running at 250 degrees. Got a bunch of friends coming over. I've got about 12 pounds of Mexican pulled pork on there. We're gonna make some burritos. But, need an appetizer, and that's what this is for. So, I'm gonna take the pork belly and set it skin side down. And then we're gonna get this thing seasoned up. First, we shall hit it with some salt and pepper. And then to help with the cherry profile of this Fireball Cherry Chipotle seasoning that we're going with the sauce, I have some Butcher Barbecue Wild Cherry Seasoning. We've used this before, it's absolutely amazing. All right, that's all seasoned up. I'm gonna let it tack up here for about 15 minutes, and then it's on to the smoker again for 3.5 hours, till we hit about, I don't know, 175 to 190 degrees. Then we'll see you for the next step. All right? Smoker's sitting right at 250 degrees, right where we want it. And it's right here too, that's where I want it. We're gonna get our pork belly on. It's going on the top shelf, over near the smokestack to get most of the smoke flavor it can. And there we go. We leave it alone for, well, I'm gonna check in about an hour and a half point, see if I need to rotate it, but it's gonna stay out here for 3 to 3.5 hours. So, we'll see you when it's time to pull this puppy back off.
Did you actually just say that?
Not a puppy, not a puppy, it's a pig. It's a pig. Pig. Yeah, it's a pig. And yeah, then we'll get on with the next steps. We'll see you then. The pork belly is in, it's at 175 degrees. My oven is preheated to 400 degrees. We're gonna get this crackling crisped up. What we need to do is we need to get a little bit of white vinegar and then brush the skin of the pork belly. That's gonna help promote the crackling, crisping up, which is exactly what we want. All right, that's done. So this is going in the oven, 400 degrees, about 8 to 12 minutes. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. We don't want a bit of black on this, but we want good, crispy crackling. So we'll see ya when it's time to do the next step. The pork belly's out of the oven. The skin is crisped up. It's still hot as hell, but the director's hungry, so we're gonna risk it. So I got my cotton liners, we'll throw on some nitrile gloves. Now we're gonna flip this puppy over. Again, it's not a puppy, it's a pig. We're gonna flip this over and cut right along those squares we made yesterday to get our burnt ends. And then we're gonna chuck them into this bowl. Oh. Hear that crunch. Now, you could use a butter knife if you're an idiot, but if you have a Dow Strong obliterator, it's gonna make quick work of this. And I happen to have one right here. There's a link down below if you want one yourself. Look how cool I look. All right, let's get this done. Director's hungry, that's important. Oh, if you could smell what I'm smelling right now. Okay, the burn ends are all cut. Now we're gonna get them sauced. So that sauce we made yesterday goes in there. We'll get these tossed, and then we're gonna be judged by the director. I should have had a little bit bigger bowl. No, I'd like to struggle and look like an idiot. It adds flavor. It's authentic. Because I know you out there have put stuff in too small of a bowl before. At least I hope you have. I hope I'm not the only one. I am happy with that coverage. Now for the moment of truth. We bring in the director. All right, looking to see, does she get the fireball taste? Does she get the cherry taste and the chipotle? She has picked her burnt end. And I heard a crunch.
Definitely get the fireball
Awesome.
and the cherry and the crunch. What else was I supposed to get?
Chipotle, are you getting any kind of smokiness or bite at all?
Smoky.
Okay. We didn't put a whole lot of chipotles in there, so it shouldn't be real spicy, but we just wanted that touch. So is this a winner, director? Mm-hmm. Am I a winner, director?
Cheesy, but yes.
Aw, okay, there you go. Hey, thank you so much for joining us today. And until we see you next time, fair winds and following seas.